After a significant earthquake, a tsunami measuring 15 meters in height incapacitated the power and cooling systems of 3 reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, initiating a nuclear incident on March 11, 2011. The cores of all 3 reactors experienced substantial melting within the initial 3 days. The severity of the incident was rated at level 7 on the International Nuclear and Radiological Event Scale due to considerable radioactive releases that occurred from days 4 to 6, eventually totaling around 940 petabecquerels, equivalent to iodine 131. As a result of the damage caused by the accident, all 4 reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi facility, amounting to a net capacity of 2,719 megawatts electric, MUE, were declared unusable. Following a period of 2 weeks, stability was achieved for the 3 reactors, units 1 to 3, by adding water, and by July, they were being cooled using recycled water from a newly established treatment plant. The official declaration of a cold shutdown condition was made in mid-December. Beyond the cooling efforts, a central ongoing task involved preventing the release of radioactive substances, particularly those found in contaminated water leaking from the affected units. This challenge gained significant attention in August 2013. While the nuclear incident resulted in no deaths or radiation sickness cases, over 100,000 individuals were evacuated from their residences as a precautionary measure. The government's apprehension has caused delays in allowing many residents to return. Official statistics indicate that there were 2,313 fatalities related to the disaster among evacuees from Fukushima Prefecture. These disaster-related deaths are in addition to the approximately 19,500 individuals who lost their lives due to the earthquake and tsunami. The massive magnitude 9.0 Great East Japan earthquake that struck at 2:46 p.m. on March 11, 2011, inflicted extensive damage on the region. The ensuing colossal tsunami it generated caused even more devastation. The earthquake's epicenter was situated 130 kilometers offshore from Sendai City in Miyagi Prefecture on the eastern coast of Honshu Island. This rare and intricate dual quake lasted for approximately 3 minutes. Over an expanse of 650 kilometers, the seafloor shifted 10 to 20 meters horizontally in a north-south direction. Japan's position shifted a few meters eastward, while the local shoreline subsided by half a meter. The resulting tsunami inundated an area of about 560 square kilometers, leading to a human death toll of around 19,500 individuals. The coastal ports, towns, and over 1 million buildings suffered extensive damage, with many being destroyed or partially collapsed. At the time of the earthquake, 11 reactors across 4 nuclear power plants were operational in the region. All of these reactors shut down automatically upon the earthquake's impact. Subsequent evaluations revealed no significant harm to any of the reactors due to the earthquake itself. Among these units, Tokyo Electric Power Company's, TEPCO's, Fukushima Daiichi 1, 2, 3, and Fukushima Daini 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as Tohoku's Onagawa 1, 2, 3, and JAPCO's Tokei, collectively amounting to 9,377 MUE net, were shut down. Fukushima Daiichi Units 4, 5, and 6 were not operational at the time but were still affected. Initially, the primary concern centered on Fukushima Daiichi Units 1 to 3, with Unit 4 becoming problematic on the 5th day. The reactors demonstrated resilience against seismic activity but proved vulnerable to the subsequent tsunami. While 8 out of the 11 units had access to power from the grid or backup generators to operate the residual heat removal (RHR) system cooling pumps, the Fukushima Daiichi units lost power due to flooding caused by the 15-meter tsunami. This flooding disabled 12 of the 13 on-site backup generators and the heat exchangers responsible for dissipating reactor waste and decay heat into the sea. Consequently, these units were unable to maintain proper cooling and water circulation functions for the reactors. Electrical switchgear was also rendered inoperable. Following this, weeks of concentrated efforts were dedicated to restoring heat removal from the reactors and managing the overheated spent fuel pools. Hundreds of TEPCO employees, along with contractors and support from firefighting and military personnel, worked on these tasks. Some TEPCO staff members were enduring personal hardships, having lost their homes and even families to the tsunami, and were living in challenging temporary conditions, some even at personal risk. Despite the presence of an on-site emergency response center, its use was prohibited due to radioactive contamination. Tragically, 3 TEPCO employees at the Daiichi and Daini plants lost their lives directly due to the earthquake and tsunami, but no fatalities were attributed to the nuclear incident itself. amidst a series of aftershocks, including a magnitude 7.1 earthquake near Fukushima on April 7 and subsequent events on April 11 and 12, which did not cause further issues at the plant. The Fukushima Daiichi and Daini plants were constructed about 11 kilometers apart along the coast, with Daini situated to the south. Seismic data collected for both plants, located around 180 kilometers from the earthquake's epicenter, showed a maximum ground acceleration of 550 gal, 0.56 grams, for Daiichi and 254 gal for Daini. Daiichi Units 2, 3, and 5 experienced a response acceleration beyond their designed east-west limits by around 20%, during a recording period of 130 to 150 seconds. All nuclear plants in Japan are built on rock, while ground acceleration reached around 2,000 gal a few kilometers north in sediment areas. The original design basis for the tsunami height at Daiichi was 3.1 meters, based on an evaluation of the 1960 Chilean tsunami. Consequently, the plant was constructed approximately 10 meters above sea level, with seawater pumps positioned 4 meters above sea level. The Daini plant was built 13 meters above sea level. In 2002, the design basis was revised to 5.7 meters above sea level, leading to the sealing of seawater pumps. However, the tsunami that hit the shore reached a height of approximately 15 meters, causing the Daiichi turbine halls to be submerged under roughly 5 meters of seawater until the water levels receded. Daini suffered less damage. The tsunami's highest amplitude at its point of origin was 23 meters, originating around 180 kilometers from Fukushima. Throughout the previous century, the region had encountered 8 tsunamis with maximum amplitudes above 10 meters at their origins, some even higher. These tsunamis were triggered by earthquakes ranging from magnitude 7.7 to 8.4, occurring on average every 12 years. The most recent tsunamis affecting Japan were in 1983 and 1993, generated by magnitude 7.7 earthquakes, resulting in maximum origin heights of 14.5 meters and 31 meters, respectively. The June 1896 earthquake, estimated at magnitude 8.3, induced a tsunami with a run-up height of 38 meters in the Tohoku region, claiming over 27,000 lives. The countermeasures against tsunamis implemented during the design and siting of Fukushima Daiichi in the 1960s were deemed appropriate given the scientific understanding at the time, which documented low run-up heights for that specific coastline. However, almost 2 decades before the 2011 disaster, new scientific insights had revealed the possibility of a significant earthquake and a subsequent massive tsunami, with an estimated height of 15.7 meters at the Daiichi site. Despite these revelations, neither the plant operator, TEPCO, nor the government regulators, notably the Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency, NISA, had taken substantial actions. Although discussions were ongoing, there was minimal action taken. The countermeasures could have been reviewed in line with the guidelines from the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, which emphasized considering high tsunami levels. Nevertheless, NISA permitted the Fukushima plant to continue operating without adequate countermeasures such as relocating backup generators to higher ground, sealing the lower sections of the buildings, and ensuring backup systems for seawater pumps, despite clear warnings. A report from the Japanese government's Earthquake Research Committee in February 2011, addressing earthquakes and tsunamis along the Pacific coastline of northeastern Japan, was slated for release in April and might have prompted changes. This document included an analysis of a magnitude 8.3 earthquake that struck the region over 1,140 years ago, causing immense tsunamis that inundated large portions of Miyagi and Fukushima prefectures. The report recommended raising awareness of the potential for a similar catastrophe to recur. The March 11 earthquake, with a magnitude of 9.0, resulted in significant movements in multiple seabed sections over a source area spanning 200 by 400 kilometers. The ensuing tsunami wreaked havoc across Miyagi, Iwate, and Fukushima prefectures.